From zero to hero. I am your instructor Mahesh Patil. In this lesson, I will show you how to reuse locators to avoid code duplication and improve the structure of your test. So let's start by automating a simple scenario. So this thing where you are going to fill out a basic form with an email and a password field. You're going to put a data here and you are going to click on the submit button. So let's write a code and then we will try to refactor the code to make it cleaner. So let's write whatever in the previous class, whatever the ways we have learned, this we'll try to write the code in the same form. So in order to automate this simple form scenario, so let's go back to our studio. So first let me write I'll just copy paste instead of I'll explain you afterwards. So I'll just copy paste this code. So this time what we are going to do, relocating, right? I'll just rename the test name as relocating the locators, reusing the locators. I'll just using the locators. Okay, so as you if you go back to our previous class, in order to identify the element unique, you have to find the parent card and then you have to filter it and you can filter it using the filter or using by get by role and all those things. So let me go back to this thing and inspect this one. So here you see the NB card and we'll use the parent is NB card, and so we are going to use the parent NB card and then we are going to filter based on the something unique has text, something like based on the text we can identify this element. So let me just find what is the unique here. Okay, so first we have identified the NB card. The parent we have to identify here based on the, so this is the parent and we have to go to the, as I said, we have different forms here, basic forms, using the grid. Now we have to be more unique, right? So in the basic card we have to filter out based on the base form. So if you see here, the base form, we'll use the filter like this thing, base form. So has text, we'll look with we'll try to filter out with the has text base form, and inside that we'll get by role locator, we have seen, right? So text box, so we are going to use the text box, and inside the text box we have something called email, so we will use that thing. Let me just go back to the code. So page locator NB card, so let me just remove all those things. Okay, page locator NB card, filter has basic form, again it is already there, get by role text. So the name text box here is email, we are going to give email, sorry. This text I have seen already, it's email. If you see here, let me just inspect this thing. So the text, the placeholder, I have took this as a text placeholder text email, so which is what I have written here. So now we are going to provide the input. How we are going to provide the input here? We will use fill method. So a fill and then open and closing parenthesis. and inside this thing what you are going to give the input. So let's say something test at test.com. So similarly I'll just copy paste, everything will be the same, right? Just to avoid the time, I'm just copy pasting the locator NB card, the filter we are going to filter it out by the base form, and then again we are going to filter by the role. So this time it will be password. So how I'm saying is, like, let me just go and inspect again. So placeholder is password here. If you see, it is password. This one I have copied. So password, let's say I want to give something hello at 123 at hello at 123. Okay, then what I'm going to do, then I have to click on the button, right? I'll just copy paste again the same thing. So till here base form get by role. So this time what I am going to do, the get by role should be something called button, right? So it's not text box, this is button. So let me just find what is the uniqueness here. So I'll just say it is by button, and if you see something like so the role is button, like I'll just use the button itself. The role is button, and I will try to click on that thing. So I'll just say in the role of that thing is button. I'll just remove all those things, and I will going to click this time on this. My bad. There is some issue with my keyboard. Okay, let's run this code and see whether it's going to execute or not. So it's running. You see, let me just close this thing. You'll observe, yeah, it entered the text whatever you can. So this program got executed. So now see here, most of the things are getting duplicate, right? Till here, whatever the page dot locator nb card filter base form, all these things are getting duplicate, right? So how we can avoid this? So in order to avoid this thing, we can extract the locator into constant and we can reuse it. So what I mean to say is, let's create a constant here. Const, I'll say basic form is equal to, I'll just Something crazy with my keyboard. I think it's not taking the equal to. Let me just, sorry about that. Okay, I'll just, I'll copy paste for now. Okay, sorry about that. Something crazy with happening with my keyboard. Okay, so what I was saying is, like, instead of having the repetitive code in our in our script, we can just reuse. We just you create a constant and just so till here everything is same, right? So I'll just copy here, control X. I'll create it to basic form. So now this basic form I'll give it here, dot. You see the same thing. I'll just try to replace everywhere. Okay, now let me try to execute this thing, and this time and I'll show you. So our code is running. Okay, it clicked on basic form. Okay, I think it got executed everything. So let me just clear this thing and I will show you again. It got executed so fast. Let me run it again. Come back here. You see, it got executed. Okay. So it worked perfectly by using the basic form constant. This basic form constant, we eliminated the duplication and made the code cleaner. So we can add another level of abstraction to further improve the readability. So let's say you can create the child. What I mean to say is, you can create the child constant. You can create a constant for like child locators. So what I mean to say is, let me just click on this thing. So what I will like this time, constant is equal to, I'll say email field is equal to, so till here base form you are using, right? So I'll just the parent, whatever the constant I have created, I'll just use that thing, and after this dot, so I'll copy paste this thing, whole thing till here. Now I will use this child constant, whatever I created here. Okay, now I will try to run this thing. Let me just remove everything. Okay, let me run this code. Come back here. You see, it got executed. So this approach actually provides an additional level of abstraction, making your code more modular and easier to maintain. Okay, let's okay, they I think there there is a checkbox which I wanted to hear on this thing, right? So let me just click on this checkbox and then click on the submit. So let me write a code for that thing. So in order to do that, let me just inspect this thing. What is uniqueness I need to find? So this checkbox. So I'm going to use nothing but like NB checkbox here. The locator NB checkbox card I'm going to use. That is the unique. So let me go back to my code. What I'm going to do is everything till here it will be same. Base form dot get by role. What get by role? So the role will be NB card, right? I'll just copy paste from there. The role is NB checkbox. And what I am going to do? I'm going to click on this thing. Sorry, I'm going not by role, I'm going by locator. Actually here it is throwing the error, so I'm going to locate it using NB checkbox. That was a uniqueness. So let me run this code again. So it should click on this check me out this time. You see it got clicked. Okay, similarly you can do for the button also. You can like there is a button also, right? And let me just identify. So the unique is so the role. I'll go with the role here. Get by role. The same thing. I'll just copy paste. Controls dot get by role this time. So uniqueness is nothing but it's a button. I'm going to click on it. Dot click. Okay, so it's going to click. If you want to see, let me just go back and show you. So you see it got highlighted, it got clicked here. Okay, so let's add a basic assertion to verify that the email input field has the correct value, whatever the email input field we are giving here, right? Whether like it is having the correct value or not. How we will cross check that using the like basic method called like some assertion. So basic assertion method we will use. So like for that, how we are going to do? We are going to do it using the import expect library. We are going to use the expect library, and Based on that, we are going to compare, write the assertion and compare whether it is having that value or not. So let me write and show it to you. So here, await which library we have to use for this assertion, whether, so expect. So you have to write here also expect. Okay, it is already there, so no error message is showing. Good. So expect. So which field we are going to compare? We are going to compare the email field, right? Email field to have value. What value we are going to check? Test at test.com. Whether it is having this value or not, we are going to check. Let's run this again and go back to our, let me close. So this time the assertion should pass successfully. I think it got inputted and everything looks good, and it got passed successfully. If you want to see, you have to execute the UI and you need to check. So it might take in order to show you in the UI. So let it run. Okay, see, it's getting executed. It got executed. You see the last one. So it got executed, no error, right? So summary, in this lesson we have learned how to reduce the code duplication by using the locator through constants, and we added the abstraction to create constants for child locators, and we interacted with additional element like checkboxes, and we also write the basic assertion to validate the test outcomes, right? So that's it for this class. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.